Welcome, everyone. It is Game Set Life. I'm David Meltzer here with the extraordinary co-host. I have dreamed about having someone like uh, Rick Macy joining me full force. Two Buckeyes ready to help people learn lessons that will help them on and off the court, the field, the pitch, and in life. Welcome, Rick. I'm so excited to be doing this show with you.
No, I'm more than excited. I just jumped off the court. I'm fired up. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm really pumped about the whole thing.
We are blessed to have as our first guest on Game Set Life, Rick Macy and Dave Meltzer here. One of my favorite new friends, and I have to call him a friend because this guy is truly a friend to his community and a friend to me. The incredible All-Pro superstar Austin Ekeler. Welcome to this amazing first edition of Game Set Life. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on, man? I'm truly honored to be the first guest. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Well, it was super cool because I was thinking, gosh, I started a new show with Rick Macy, a legend, right? Hall of Fame tennis coach. There's no one better in his sport at what he does. And I want to show off to him because he's like, well, I'll bring Roddick on, I'll bring Serena on. I'm like, whoa, slow down. I got plenty of people in my stable. And I'm thinking, what thoroughbred am I going to bring first to make sure that Rick knows I'm a real player? And I went for the top of the line, modern day hero to so many. So thank you for helping me build my internal brand with Rick Macy.
Absolutely. And Rick, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I got a question right out of the blocks for Austin.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Would you rather be like the #1 fantasy football pick or the first of the Mohicans on Game Set Life with Macy and Meltzer? And be honest, okay, you won't hurt my feelings.
Okay. That's a great one. That's a great one. But the fantasy community has shown me a lot of loyalty through the years. So I'm gonna have to stick with the fantasy community for now.
That's all right.
That's okay.
Hey, we're #2. We try harder. It doesn't matter. You're still the leader in the clubhouse. And I know you guys are playing the Dolphins this Sunday night. I hope you
Yes.
rush for 200. Okay.
Appreciate that.
5 touchdowns, 10 catches. But I'm a Dolphin fan, so I hope they win by 1. So now that we got all that out of the way, now we
Hey.
can dive into your story.
We love it. I love some friendly competition. That's what makes this all fun. So we'll bring it on, man. Let's go.
There you go.
And Austin, I want to start with, obviously you were not the first pick in the draft. You weren't the first pick out of high school, college. You're probably, still an anomaly. And Rick and I were talking about how important genetics are in tennis and individual sports. I would particularly say almost all the greats that I talked to in tennis, the McEnroe brothers, Rick, Nick, who passed away this week, I believe, always brings up genetics. But I thought football's a little bit different. You have to have a certain level of genetic capability, but there's a lot more that gives you opportunities and touches a favor in football than just genetics. I think there's a lot of people with better genetics than you that aren't starting in the NFL. And how do you see your genetics comparatively to other skills or characteristics that you've utilized to be so successful?
Yeah, one of the great things about football is there's so many different types of positions, right? So your team is made up of a lot of different types of bodies. And that could be great because then you can encompass a lot of different types of people. For like myself, I play the same position as Derrick Henry plays, and he's 6'3", 255, and I'm 5'8", 195, right? This guy weighs 60 pounds more than I do and is, whatever inches taller. But like we're saying, genetics, it has a place. Absolutely. You do have to have some base of athletic ability, but if you have at least up to that level that's like acceptable to get you in, then it becomes, okay, what's your mental capacity? What's your reaction time? Like how focused can you stay to your training? How consistent can you build yourself to be? That has nothing to do with genetics and more so to do with your management of your time and your energy and your focus. And so that's the great thing about, football. It gave me an opportunity at this stature and this body type that, look, I had enough genetic makeup to be fast enough, to be strong enough. And now all those other things on top has allowed me to elevate my play and get me in a role where I'm able to have a starting spot in the NFL.
Rick, you got a question for him? If not, I'll pop in.
Yeah, no, genetics. I mean, he has a 40-inch vertical leap. I mean, that's good when someone goes at your ankles. You can just kind of go Air Ekeler, you can just go over. But listen, I got to ask the question. You have to love contact. Am I
Love
right about that?
contact.
No, you
No,
just
I'm a running back. I'm supposed to not get hit.
okay. But don't mentally, I mean, it's just bring us into the mind of a running back.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, because obviously you're very strong and quick and
Yeah.
fast. So, but the mental part, as you go from high school, college to pro, the speed of the game changes. Everybody's
Wow.
bigger,
Yeah.
stronger, faster. But mentally, there can be no fear. No fear.
Exactly. That's right. You're right on there, Rick. Like, it's not that I enjoy contact, because contact hurts, especially at this level when these guys are all, 300, 250 plus, so it hurts. Like, I don't enjoy it, but I'm not scared I'm not fearful of contact. Like, if I'm going to take on a hit, I'm taking it on. Right. And I'm trying to get the better half of that hit and finish falling forward. And so there's a mentality that has to be instilled with you. And I think that's from a younger age when you're playing football, and just in general, as you're going through athletics and sports, you build this mental capacity to want to compete and want to take on challenges, because that's what will make you better. And the things that are not easy are the things, if you overcome, will bring you more glory and more opportunity and more resources. And so younger, I'm not thinking about that, right? I'm just thinking trying to go out there and have fun and win. But really what is happening is I'm conditioning myself to go out there and want to be the best version of myself. I'm wearing my shirt, be the best you, right? I'm trying to be the best version of myself, and really push forward. And then when sports became more, of an integrated part of my life, when it was paying for my education, now it became a little bit more serious. Now it's a little bit more directed, because when I was younger, it's kind of just, we're doing it for fun. Now it's actually got some substance in my life that's going to help me, give me opportunities and education in my future. And then go from college. Now it's like, okay, now this is actually my job, as a whole. And so now the mental capacity has been trained just to continue to want to excel in that. And you get to the top level. And if you don't have the mental capacity, you're going to get weeded out really quick. And because now it's not just, hey, you know where to line up, know where to do your job. Now it's, you have to take it upon yourself to learn your job, to be consistent. No one's holding your hand anymore. When you get to the pros, it's on you to learn. It's on you to stay in shape. You're not going, there's no summer, spring league, that we have. So the mental demand gets greater and greater the higher you get in your competition level, in your game, and in your profession.
And one of the things I coach in business and in life are these lenses, and one's productivity, which you have down pat. And I know Rick is a master at teaching productivity, and he himself is, you wouldn't believe, Ekeler, man, this guy has never sat down in 35 years on a he's up earlier than me. I think 3:30 is his game time and mine's 4. But more importantly, gratitude, a lens of gratitude. And I just want to share real quick, this young man is so gracious. On his off week, he came out and met with my son's football team that was going to the championship, and 8 p.m. on a Friday night, here he is, a 20-something-year-old guy and professional athlete, taking his time to drive over to speak to a team, which to this day, these kids keep on thanking me. The parents keep on thanking me. He changed, including my own son, who got real shy around Austin again, just thanked me with, welled up eyes, how much it meant to him that Austin Ekeler came to the game. And they ended up winning and using his little cheer to inspire everybody. But there's another component that's related to that I think is the third lens of success, and it's called accessibility. And that's really where you're taking your entrepreneurial journey, is that you've somehow found great value in being accessible. And you're on fantasy leagues. I looked up at the airport. I thought it was my show that you're on. It was a fantasy show. You're on at the gate, somebody else's show. I'm like, man, he's cheating on me, but that's cool. He's all over the airport. More importantly, this new experience with the EK for the Ekeler brand is really about accessibility, allowing fans to be able to be accessible to their favorite players, their stars. Give us an idea of how that came about, this new platform. You have a new website and app that's really close to being launched.
Yeah.
How did this come about, and how important is that accessibility?
So I guess early on in my career, I was super focused on making sure I was establishing myself, finding out how to be a pro. And that took probably, I would say, after my second season, I really was able to understand, okay, what this is about, what to expect, how to get in a routine to get myself ready to start playing. And I feel like I had taken advantage of my opportunities to get myself in a rhythm. And so as a competitor and as someone who's just really trying to push myself forward, I was looking for more value. Like, how can I continue to take advantage of my platform that I was involved in? And it's a very concentrated part of my life. And really what I saw was the football side is relatively, in this term, easy to take advantage of because you just go play. Like, that's easy, right? There's a direction, it's laid out for you. Take advantage of football, you get a contract if you go play. Well, there's another side, there's another value add, which is the community, which is the fans, which is all of these podcasts, which is the news, which is all the media, where there's value there, but it's not as easy to access because there's no direct line of how you want to take advantage of. You have to kind of steer the boat. And if you don't have a plan or the education or a network to know how to get started, it's really hard to get into it. And so when I first got started after like my third year, I started engaging with people on Twitch, right? It was a live streaming platform. So I started really small. I was hanging out, playing some video games with some fans. It was basically like a whole press conference while we play video games at the same time. And they'd ask me questions. And I was just doing this because I was like, I want to engage with more people because they don't really get to see me. They only get to see me on Sundays, right? Well, it's like I have a lot more to my life than just playing on Sundays. And so I wanted to make the connection because I just thought it was interesting that people were just interested in me, this little kid from Colorado, the small town. And now I'm on this stage and people want to ask me questions about my journey and things like that. And so I thought that was really interesting. I loved it. And it helped me motivate myself to share my story and learn more about myself at the same time. Where I'm going with this is there was so much value that was brought to me by just doing that little action of opening myself up. I had people wanting to sponsor my stream. I have other athletes trying to, come and ask me how do I get involved? And I was like, whoa, there's a lot of value here. Like, people actually want to see this side of me, And so I basically, over the past, since then, 3 years now, have been building up my communities in different ways, whether it's for the foundation, that's what I'm rocking today, this gear, whether it's through the app, whether it's through my fantasy football engagement, right? Just other things that I wanted to take advantage of in a community sense that give me so much more value. And it's all about me just being open about the things that I enjoy. And then what the value is in the long term is, I'll have options. I've had connections. People have been able to see who Austin Ekeler is deeper than just the NFL football player, which gives you, like I said, more options in the future because now you've increased your network, you've increased your visibility, you've increased your intelligence, your awareness of yourself. You start to get a vision of where you want to go. And there's so much value to be had there. So that's where all of the community and the experience brand has been started from. Yeah.
Rick,
No,
why don't you
awesome.
land the
No,
plane? And I think you need to do the same thing.
yeah, no, I'm ready to roll. But I want to back the truck up a second. When he went and visited your son and fired up the troops, I need him to talk. That's long ago in Colorado from his mother, the way he's wired. Okay, that's the starting point. There's a lot of people that have a lot of opportunity, but they don't do that. And that's been in him, that gratitude and appreciation, just like I had with Venus and Serena and many others. I mean, that staple is the cornerstone to spring in many directions. So that's one thing I wanted to point out because to me, it's big time. And the other thing is, I wanted to ask him when he played a lot of games with a broken arm. Okay, he played with a cast on. Okay, because we have a lot in common here. I actually played a tournament. Okay, with a cast on. Yeah,
wow.
I thought I was crazy, and I said thank you very much. Okay, because courage and crazy really go hand in hand sometimes. But it actually made me better when I had the cast on, so I couldn't hit a two-handed backhand. I had to run around, so my forehand got better, but my back was a little shaky. So the mindset of doing that, did you even think twice that you weren't going to play? Could you share that with all the people watching?
So just going back to that part, going to meet, Dave's son's team. For me, it was like, people find value in my story and my energy. And so it's like, let me take a small part of my day to make someone else's, right? Like it's a small part of my day, right? Like it's really like, what would I be doing anyway? Let's go try to help other people. Even like today, actually, I'm going over to, Long Beach, Cal Poly. We're building them a whole new weight room. So like just continuing to leave my mark on the world. And it's not even about me really. It's about giving people opportunities and giving people some type of seed of motivation or a way for them to really start building their life off of things that they don't even know they're building it off of. Like a weight room. How are you doing that? Well, you're learning mental toughness, physical toughness, all these different skills that can apply to your life. And then, we're talking about mental toughness and physical toughness, right? That's when, it was my rookie year. I actually broke my hand. So I broke my hand and I'm playing with this big cast on my hand. And I didn't know if I was going to be
left.
Yeah, it was on my left hand. Yeah.
But now you're all right. You get that?
Yes. Now I am all right.
There
Yes.
you go.
Okay. So yeah, I didn't think
you get around old men. We got these jokes like these are good ones.
But no, I didn't think twice. Like I was like, yeah, I can still play. Like put a cast on. I can't carry the ball because it's a liability now. But I can still run down. And I was heavily involved in special teams, so I was on punt return, all of those different things, and still making an impact where I could. Absolutely,
I love that because you took a negative and you turned it into positive, and that's what life's all about. You know, what I mean, he's just saying, I'm on the sideline. And I love that stuff, and that's what I try to teach anybody I come in contact with.
Yeah, it's really about changing the perspective of what is happening. We're all going to have some type of hardship, and it sucks. It definitely sucks. Like we just lost a tough game to the Raiders 2 days ago, and yeah, it sucks. But it's like, what can you find better from that? Well, guess what? We know what we need to work on. We have another opportunity, right? So now let's use that. Use that fuel, use that pressure that we lost, and make sure that we can use it as something that's a positive and make sure it can push us forward, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to give us a better result, but it gives us that push to try to get better.
Well put.
I'll tell you what, they talk about surround yourself with the right people and the right ideas. You two guys are absolutely the right people with the right ideas. And I'd invest in either of you on the business side. And I can't wait for this Mr. Ekeler guy to stop playing someday and come over to the mental toughness side of business, because he's going to, if you think this guy is successful on the field, he's the next Michael Jordan when it comes to off the field success. I promise you. You can tell by his mindset, his heart set, and his hand set. He has all the goods to help make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun, just like the legend Rick Macy. Austin Ekeler, I will tell you, the first guest on my other show, The Playbook, where we have over 1,400 episodes, it's one of the biggest in the world, was a Hall of Fame wide receiver, Andre Reed. And he gave a very similar answer, that he'd rather be the first pick in the fantasy than be on my podcast. But now I guarantee he brags to more people that he's been the first episode of my podcast. And I'm sure hopefully 20 years from now, you'll do the same thing, man. Please come back and join us anytime. Anything we can do for you, let us know, Rick or I. We're so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Rick. Like I said, it was nice to meet you, Dave. Always a pleasure, man.
If you'd have answered the question different, I just sent you a hoodie, but now you're getting a t-shirt. But we're still, we can do this again. No problem.
Absolutely. Thank you, boys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Austin. Good luck.
Good luck.
We'll see you.
Just go kick the Dolphins' ass.
All right. Yeah.